Hello students, myself Chanda Ranjan from Department of Pharmaceutical Chemistry, Oxford College of Pharmacy, Bangalore. Today I am going to discuss about a new unknown sample, its qualitative analysis. After this video that I have prepared, you will be able to understand how to conduct the preliminary investigation, solubility analysis, elemental detection, functional group analysis, and the confirmatory test for any unknown compound in the lab. This is the basic performer for the how to carry out the qualitative analysis. We have the experimental, we have the observation, and we have the inference. Firstly, what we do, we write in the experiment part. What observation we get, we write in the observation, and what conclusion we draw after the experiment, we draw it in the inference section. Here I have taken this compound. It is a brown colored solid. So we'll write in the observation it is a brown solid. Inference we draw, that is it can be a carbohydrate, acid, phenol, amine, or any higher hydrocarbon. Odor, it has bitter almond odor. It can be phenol or cresol. After the physical appearance, we'll see the solubility part. It was found to be insoluble in water, insoluble in 5% HCl, but soluble in 5% NaOH and ether. The solubility characteristics fits into the group 3 criteria. That is, the compound is insoluble in water, soluble in ether, and readily soluble in bases. So the compound can be acids, phenol, or imides. So we'll write in the inference that compound belongs to group 3 that comprises acids, phenol, and imides. In the preliminary investigation, we will see the acidic and basic nature of the compound. What we see when we dip the blue litmus paper into the solution, the litmus changes its color from blue to red. The compound is acidic, so it can be an acid or phenol. We'll see the action of 5% sodium bicarbonate. We found that it was insoluble with no characteristic changes. Compound can be phenols. We have to check the aromatic and aliphatic nature also. We'll take the sample in the spatula and we'll heat it directly over the flame. What we got was sooty flame. It indicates the presence of aromatic compound. We have another test for aromatic and aliphatic nature detection. In nitration test, we take the sample, we add 1 ml of concentrated HNO3, nitric acid, and sulfuric acid, and we warm it. And we pour it into the beaker that contains water. The color of the water changes to yellow. It indicates that the compound is aromatic in nature. Test for saturation and unsaturation, that is C double bond C. We have two tests for that, bromine water and Beer's reagent test. What we see that the color of bromine and Beer's reagent, that is potassium permanganate, has not discharged. That shows that compound is saturated. We will test also the action of ferric chloride solution on the compound given. We take the sample and we add 1 ml of ferric chloride solution. The color changed to purple. So what we conclusion we draw that the phenolic group is present there. This is the reaction I'm showing, a violet colored complex, that is FeOC6H5 plus. Okay, so this complex has formed that indicates that the phenolic group is present. Now, after the preliminary investigation, we have to carry out the elemental analysis test. We'll take the sodium fusion. We'll take the fusion tube and we'll add sodium into it and we'll heat it directly over the Bunsen burner so that the sodium melts and becomes red hot. We add a pinch of the sample on the in the fusion tube and we'll again heat it so that it becomes red hot. After that, we'll plunge that red hot tube into the china dish that contains the distilled water. That contents will be crushed with the help of glass rod and will be boiled so that we get a concentrated solution. After the volume reduces to its half, we have to filter the solution using funnel and filter paper, and what we got is called as Lassagnus extract or sodium fusion extract. This is the diagrammatic representation of the sodium fusion extract preparation. After the sodium fusion extract has been prepared, we have to go for the elemental analysis. We start with the test for nitrogen. We take the sample and we add 1 ml of ferrous sulfate solution. We shake it. No dark greenish gray precipitate of ferrous hydroxide formed. So We again add 1 ml of dilute sulfuric acid to the same solution. We heat it. No formation of Prussian blue color. That indicates that nitrogen is absent. We'll again check the presence of sulfur. We'll take the sample and we'll add 3 drops of freshly prepared sodium nitroprusside solution and we'll shake it. No appearance of brilliant purple color. That shows that sulfur is absent. We have another test for sulfur, that is lead acetate test. We'll take the sample and we'll add 1 ml of dilute acetic acid and few drops of lead acetate. We'll heat it. If we get a black precipitate, sulfur is present, otherwise sulfur is absent. Then we'll test the halogens. We'll take the sample and we'll add 1 ml of dilute nitric acid and silver nitrate solution, shake it. No white or yellow precipitate has formed. That indicates that halogens are absent. Now we'll go for nitrogen and sulfur test together. Since nitrogen and sulfur has come negative, so definitely it should come negative. Let's test this solution. We'll take the sample and we'll add 2 ml of dilute HCl and 1 ml of ferrichloride solution and shake it. No blood red color formation present. That indicates nitrogen and sulfur both are absent. What conclusion we draw after the preliminary investigation, elemental analysis and solubility analysis? That compound is saturated, aromatic and acidic in nature. The compound has absence of special elements, that is nitrogen, sulfur and halogens. It is insoluble in water and HCl, but soluble in bases and ether. So the compound belongs to group 3. As we know that group 3 compounds are acids, phenols and imides. It can be any one of them. But we have conducted the elemental analysis test and we found that there are no special elements. So imides functional group N is there. So we can rule out that amongst them imides can't be present and we are left with the option of acids and phenols. For carboxylic acid, we have to check that the compound is our carboxylic acid a functional group or not. So for carboxylic acid, we have to do the litmus paper test. The color changed to red. Acidic group is present, means the carboxylic acids can be present. We'll have the fruity smell test. We know that the carboxylic acid, when reacts with alcohol and H2SO4, it gives a fruity smell of ester. We got here no fruity smell, so carboxylic group is absent. We'll again confirm the carboxylic acid presence with the sodium bicarbonate test. We'll take the sample and we'll dissolve it in the into the saturated solution of sodium bicarbonate. Then, for no formation of carbon dioxide has been observed. Evolution of carbon dioxide is observed with the effervescence. Here we are not getting any effervescence, so carboxylic acid group is absent. So we are left with the option of phenols. So now we will test the functional group phenol test. For the functional group test, we have the neutral ferrichloride solution test. We take the sample and we add ferrichloride, and the formation of purple color shows the phenolic group presence. We have another test for phenolic group detection is Lieberman test. In that, we take the sample and we add sodium nitrite and concentrated H2SO4. We get a blue or green precipitate. After that, we dilute it with water. What we get? We get a red color fluorescence. In the same tube now, we take and we add NaOH. Again, we get the blue or green precipitate. I have shown you the reaction in which I have written after the addition of H2SO4, blue or green color is formed, but after the dilution, indophenol, red or brown color has formed. Again, after the addition of sodium hydroxide, endophenol anion formed and it gave blue or green color fluorescence. This shows that phenol is present. Now we have to do the confirmatory test. So see here, mostly in the lab, we give the students resorcinol as phenol group determination. So for the resorcinol, we have phthalene dye test, in which what we do, we take the resorcinol, we add phthalic acid and concentrated sulfuric acid and we heat it. Okay, after the solution becomes colorless, we pour it into the beaker that contains NaOH. After that, it forms a yellow-green fluorescence that confirms the presence of resorcinol. Here I have, for your reference, added the reaction also. So I hope after this all preliminary investigation, element analysis, and functional group confirmatory test, you are able to understand that the given compound is resorcinol, which has the structured benzene ring attached with two hydroxyl group, 1, 2, and 3, 1 and 3 position. Thank you.